Bright Suns, everyone. You've caught me just in time. Just putting some finishing touches up on my current project that I've got going. Of course, we're in the middle of a pandemic right now, kind of locked down inside the house unless there's anything necessary to go out for. Which I haven't had anything for a while because I stocked up on groceries earlier this week. But been inside, kind of cooped up, doing some projects and stuff. So I think next few videos we do on the channel are going to be a little bit different than normal. They're probably not just going to be exclusively Star Wars or Hot Pepper content. Probably going to be a little bit of the art projects and stuff that I've got going on. So the first one that I'll show you are going to be something I've been working on for the past 2 days or so now. Kind of like because of the pandemic that we've got going on, I kind of gotten kind of an apocalyptic theme, I would say, going on. So this started as just a plain, normal, cheap machete, probably like a Walmart type machete with a black plastic handle and a regular metal blade. Of course, I painted the blade gold, and then I cord wrapped the handle, and then wrapped the handle in like a fabric kind of cloth, like almost like a ribbon, but it's like a thin canvas type ribbon. And then I went through, of course, and made kind of a skin look on there, and I did that to the bottom, the sides up here, using hot glue. Essentially just ran it through and got a nice smooth layer down while it was all the same temperature, and then I was able to paint that up and kind of detail it and give it like that kind of gross rotted skin look. And then I added some little pockets here, little loops, I guess, and then I took some actual like body jewelry and I put it through the little kind of skin flap loops that I put in there. And then I actually handmade this chain on here. I took small little kind of finishing nails, tack nails if you will, and I went through and I cut the tips off of all of them so they wouldn't have a sharp end. I had 2 blunt ends that way, and then I took hand tools actually. This is what I had available, and like I said, I'm not going to go out and just buy tools right now. So took hand tools. I have a little well, let's see, it's a little wire pair of pliers basically that's for wire here. So you know, they're from bending wire basically. So I took those and another pair of pliers, and I kind of, you know, fashioned, I think there's 15 links into that chain. So yeah, I curved them all around and, you know, bent them, linked them onto each other, hooked them to the loops there. I thought that was kind of a cool effect. Cut the tops off of some larger finishing nails here. Hopefully you can see that a little bit at least in there. But yeah, put those as like little studs on top of the handle, or the blade there. And then threw some kind of nail accents on the sides here and here. I think that added a cool kind of like, you know, brutal effect up there. And so coming down to the handle, we've got some faux leather kind of cord wrapping that I put around the top and the bottom, which plays into, we've got a wrist strap here. You basically throw your wrist through, and then you put your hand through the leather strap here, and you've got it nice and secure in your hand, and that's not going anywhere. So functional art, we'll say. Of course, it is a real machete too. So, and then at the bottom, of course, I threw some more. They're textured tack nails or finishing nails, so they're, you know, they've got some ridges to them. And then I went through and I kind of detailed all the metal on here to give it sort of like a rusty, kind of old, you know, rusty weathered look to it. So that's the machete. Of course, oh yeah, and I, you know, stained and weathered the fabric here as well. So that's the machete. Did I say I painted it gold? I painted it gold. then we have got the katana. This is the one that you saw me finishing up when you first joined. Of course, like I said, started out as a regular katana, had a dark wood grain handle, regular stainless steel blade, Tanto style edge, or tip end, whatever you want to call it. It's also a full tang sword, so the blade comes all the way down through the handle, and then it did have nice metal rivets that go through to hold the blade in place, but of course I covered the entire handle in hot glue and then painted it and detailed it to make it look like that rotted bloody skin look. And then I wrapped the handle here in the same stuff I used for the machete handle. It's like that kind of very, very thin canvas, almost kind of ribbon. Detailed that all up, and then I hope you can see it in here, but I did a few, 3 on either side, front and back, little rivets of my own. They're just nail heads, basically. I chopped them off, put little holes in, and then kind of melted them in there, heated them up and melted them in. That's how I put all of the nails and everything in here too. I just basically lit a candle, used some pliers, and held the pieces of nail and stuff over the fire for 15, 20, 25 seconds till they got hot enough, and kind of melt them into the hot glue. And that's what I did for the end here of this. So everywhere where it looked like there was a seam, I kind of put staples in. Here, up in here as well, on the guard there. And then you see some screws that I attached up there too, kind of like, gross bulbous flesh at the bottom. And then went through and rust detailed all of those. And a little bit about these staples here, those are actually handmade as well. I believe there are over 50 handmade staples in there. I took the small little finishing tack nails. I also cut the tips off of all of those to give 2 blunt ends and shorten them a little bit, because I kind of tried a couple at first, and if I didn't shorten them, they stuck way too high up out of the flesh, quote unquote, the glue. And if I shortened them, then they were too wide. So basically I cut them down to the right size, got all the tips off of them, and hand bent all of them into those staple shapes that you see in there. And that took, quite a bit of time to do all of that. And then, like I said, heated those up and went through individually and kind of sunk them in, and then I had to go back through and kind of detail all of the little areas where the glue melted a little bit to get it all bloody and flesh-like, skin-like again. And the end part that you saw me doing was kind of going through and doing the rust effect, make it a little rusty looking on all of the metal. Katana here and the machete here. Between the two of these, I probably got 12 to 14 hours worth of work into the two of them. So I'm passing this time in the pandemic where we can't go out and do anything pretty well. Also, another one that I've got going here that I meant to have on this whole time in the background, but completely forgot. We'll pop it down here. I built the AT-ST walker from The Mandalorian, the Lego one, sorry. And we've got Mandalorian here, got him up on this little plant here. So Mandalorian's up on that plant, and then we've got Cara Dune over here. We've got one of the Raiders back here. The AT-ST, of course, has got the pilot inside of it here. And then I made this entire diorama here out of faux plants and faux succulents, and then some preserved moss. And then we've got the fairy lights up in there to kind of light it up nicely. It's not finished yet. I'm going to add things to the walls and the background and the ceiling and whatnot, and I'll probably do a video about that specifically too and talk more in depth about it. But you know, I wanted to have that in there. Sorry I didn't have it on for the full video, but it is what it is. You can see it now, and that's a little preview for one of the next videos I'll be doing. But yeah, again, these are my kind of post-apocalyptic art project weapons that I'm doing here, and I think I might do some weathering to the blades, and then that'll probably be about it. So again, thanks for popping in. Stay tuned, like I said, for the rest of the foreseeable future, because we don't have a tentative date when the lockdowns will end. I'm going to be doing all kinds of videos on here, so if you got nothing else going on like a lot of people out there, then stay tuned. Alright, again, thanks for watching, and as always, may the force be with you.